I have been in the storage and picked up the box for my Sony A1. When I was there in the storage, there was some thoughts that passed my mind, and I started thinking that, is there something wrong with me? Am I crazy, or what the hell is going on? The thing is that I have ordered the new Sony A1 Mark II, and I'm super happy about that. But I feel so sad that I sadly have to sell my previous Sony A1 for be able to get the new version. And then I start to think, like, how deeply connected, like emotionally, can you be with a camera? I mean, it's a piece of plastic and electronics, so it's more or less like a piece of shit in one way. There is no heart, there is no soul, there is nothing. But I honestly feel a little bit depressed and a little bit sad that I must box it and like send it away, and I don't know how it's possible. How can I feel that way for a camera, especially when a new camera that is even better than this is coming and going to take over after this one. But I think I have the answer. I have had this camera now in 4.5 years, almost 5 years, from the very first beginning when they released the Sony A1. So I have shared so much moments with this camera. I have used it in really tough conditions, and I have taken hundreds of thousands of exposures, and I cannot even guess the amount of hours that I have held this camera in my hand. And what happened is that when you have a new camera, if you buy a camera from the store, you bring it to your home and you unbox it. Okay, then it is just a piece of plastic with some electronic components, and there is no heart, there is no soul whatsoever. But what happens when you start to use the camera, especially if you use it in a professional way and you use it like almost on a daily basis that I do, is that you start to build up some kind of trust in this camera. Because the first time you bring it out, when it's really cold, it's snowstorm or whatever, you are worried, because electronic components can always struggle. There can always be something wrong, or they can get broken whenever. So you start to build up some kind of trust. And have you been out and taking photos in really cold weather conditions? You are not going to relax because you have to do it once. You need to do it again. And then after a while you stop think about it, because you know that, okay, this camera can actually handle this, and it's never bringing me any problem. So the trust is one thing. I have during those years built up so much trust in this camera. The other thing is that how you operate a camera. In the beginning, when a camera is new, you need to think about how you use your fingers for control the camera. You need to see the camera for be able to go into the menu and change some settings. And that means that if this is a working tool for me, and the Sony A1 Mark II is an even better working tool, it doesn't going to be a camera that will give me better results immediately just because it's a better working tool, because I need to get used to it. And that's the other thing that like gave me so much feelings for this camera and gave me some like kind of strong emotional connection, because I have used this camera so much, so I never need to see anything. I don't need to see any of the buttons. I can control it fully out without thinking, also with my gloves on. And I can even go into the menu and I don't need to see nothing, because I know that, okay, 2 steps to the right, 5 steps down, 1 to the right, 1 up, push enter, okay, then I have changed this. And when I have came to that point, then is there you are in a how to say, you are in a situation where you can start to focus on what you're actually capturing in the photo, like fully out to 100%. You don't need to think anything about the camera or the equipment. You just see the world through the camera, and you do what you want to do. You do your work without thinking what you're doing. Everything you change on the camera, you do instinctively, so you don't even need to think nothing. So you can really be like one with the nature, and the camera you have used so much, so the camera is more or less one with you. So that make me feel extremely sad and some kind of like almost the kind of like depression that I need to send this camera away. And I'm not a big fan of like electronic equipment, so it's nothing about that. I have had this camera in 4.5, almost 5 years. Sony have released many cameras during that time, and I haven't even looking on those cameras because they haven't been for me. So it had nothing to do that, you know, I'm in love with electronic components and equipment because I'm a nerd that love everything from televisions to something like that. Absolutely not. But I have spent so much time together with this camera, so I can almost not imagine to have another camera in my hand. It's going to feel so weird to start to be forced to thinking what you're doing before you get used to it again. So I just want to know, how are you thinking? Is there someone out there more than me that also feel that a camera can actually have a soul after so many years, and you can get some kind of like emotional connection with the camera? Please comment what you're thinking, and hopefully I'm not the only crazy one out there. So let me know your thoughts about it.